Welcome back to Wiseman Company, everyone. Ben Brown here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Palmetto State Armory GF4 AK. This is chambered in 7.62 by 39. Big fan of the 7.62 by 39 round. Not so much the AK platform, more of a fan of the round. That topic is for another video altogether. Today, let's take a look at this AK. Got a lot of mixed reviews out there on them. Again, this is their Generation 4. This is their fourth evolution of this gun. I think there is a Gen 5 out, and I've seen that, played with that a little bit, not as much as the one you're seeing here today. Haven't you guys ever wondered about AK, guys? Like, it's just a permission slip to be weird. Like, if you walked up to the firing line wearing a Borat swimsuit, people would be like, what is that guy doing? Well, but then the guy pulls out an AK, everyone would just be like, ah, it's just an AK guy, no worries. You couldn't get away doing that with it if you pulled out an AR-15. AR-15 guys cannot do that sort of thing. AK guys, just weird. Just a full-blown permission slip to be just strange. It's a bad boy gun, I guess. I guess it's that kind of vibe. You can do whatever you want if you have an AK. So what we have here today is an outdated weapon system from a company that's known for being just as good. So this video should be quite interesting. Truth be told though, there's not a lot to complain about with this AK. Out of the box, fit and finish was great. You all know AKs can be real hit or miss. Tolerances and specs, quality control can be all over the place. There's not a real standardization, particularly with American-made ones like this Palmetto. So I did not have high aspirations for this gun, even though there are a lot of good reviews out there with some bad ones. For the majority, I've seen a lot of good ones. I didn't have high hopes for this gun. But again, nothing really to complain about. No big major glaring issues straight out of the box. If we're talking about rivets, we're talking about parts being straight, the finish on the outside looks good. Sights were in a good alignment. Again, fit and finish right out of the box. Good job, Palmetto State Armory. I got the redwood furniture version. You can get it with poly furniture if that's more your speed, and they have a few other variants of wood colors available as well. But I got the redwood version, changed some stuff on it, as you can see, and we'll get into that in just a second. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this is the fourth generation of this AK. Let's cover some notable specs and changes that Palmetto has done to this AK. Let's start with the most notable or biggest change they did. It's still a 16-inch barrel, but it's a cold hammer forged barrel with chrome lining. Phosphate finish on the outside of it. What does that mean? Chrome lining is gonna add to the longevity of this barrel. You see a lot of machine guns use chrome lining. So you're gonna get some long life out of this AK barrel. You can shoot all the crappy ammunition you want through it as fast as you want and get it real nice and hot, and you're not going to burn up a barrel as quickly. Not that the majority of the population is burning up AK barrels out there, but the chrome lining is a notable change, and again, it's going to add to the longevity, the long lifespan of a barrel. Second is the trigger. Trigger is nice and polished. The Gen 5s come with a flat face. I think it's an ALG trigger, which is really, really nice. This one has a polished curved trigger. Trigger was exceptional AK trigger out of the box. Very two-stagey, lightweight, reset is good, very smooth, no grit in it. You can definitely tell they polished it. I don't see any reason to change the trigger, although I'm sure guys that run AKs a lot might want to change it to something a little bit more high speed like that ALG. For me, I think it's good. There is a scope mount. There is a scope mount on the side, so if you want to run a Midwest Industries or an RS Regulate mount, you can do that, and you can run an optic directly over your dust cover. So rail mount on the side, nice touch. I didn't opt to use that, but a lot of you traditionalists out there like to use that, so that is on the side there. The mags fell free nicely, locked up nicely, used a variety of magazines, steel and polymer. Ships with a Magpul mag, and that's what I use the majority of the time, for Magpul mags. Again, mags falling free and rocking in nicely is another testament to the specs and sizing of the parts of this gun. Everything was, again, really easy to use. It didn't have to force things into position, which was my experience with a lot of poorly made AKs. I zeroed this Palmetto AK at 50 yards. It grouped very respectively. Nothing to really cheer and wow about. It's an AK with the ammo I was using was just standard steel case ammo. So, but it shot very good at 50 yards. I would say if I had to measure it out, I didn't group it at 100, but I would say it's going to give you a 2 to 3 inch group at 100 yards. Again, nothing spectacular, but having some real horror stories with other AKs that couldn't group inside of 10 inches, I was happy about it. Nice. That was just about 300, if not 300, 270 or something.
Yeah.
Now, I was never going to leave this gun stock. There was no chance of that. The stock AK is just, it's outdated. It's outdated in my opinion. It's lacking. There is some performance to squeeze out of the platform by upgrading the parts. So of course I upgraded the parts, and let's cover those right now. Starting at the back, the stock is left on there. I like the red wood color. I wanted a kind of a mix of wood and modern parts. The stock at the back is stock. I put a Wiseman Company sticker on there and a little trench art, because why not? Grip is a US palm grip. This is way better than the wood stock grip that comes with it that has no texture on it, no palm swell. Been using US palm grips on AKs for a long time. They fill up your hand nicely. This one's black. It has some texture on it. Does the job well. The wood over the gas tube, got rid of it. Put on a classic Ultimac rail. This integrates right over top of the gas tube. This allows me to mount an optic and a light. It does get a little toasty. People have been known to cook optics on top there. I haven't done that yet. I put on a Holosun 403, run this for a decent amount of time, got it pretty hot, and optic is still going strong. Just a little side note. The Ultimac rail has been around forever. It is a good go-to if you want to mount a light and an optic pretty easily to an AK. Did run the gun at night with a light. It's a good time. Probably will never do it again. Underneath that Ultimac rail is the factory wood, but I did a little DIY project and integrated a BCM vertical grip, creating what is known as a dong. Yes, that's the technical term for that setup. You usually see this as all one piece of wood. It looks like a dong. Again, AK people are just so weird. So the dong, God, this is gonna be a long video. The dong allows me to pull that AK nice and tight into my shoulder. Has a little bit of a swept forward motion to it. Again, I can curl my hand right in there, pull that gun right in my shoulder. The 7.62x39 does buck a little bit more than a 5.56 round, so being able to mitigate that recoil with the dong is a welcomed improvement. Okay, moving on. Last but not least, I replaced the traditional slant brake that comes on. That's the muzzle device, that's the muzzle piece that comes with the AK. I replaced that with a PWS brake / flash hider. This was a welcome improvement, cuts down the flash a lot. Like I said, I did shoot this gun at night, and I noticed there wasn't big old huge fireballs coming out of the end of the gun. It did cut down on the flash a little bit. Concussion is kicked up a little bit, kicked up a notch, but it does mitigate the recoil substantially. So that was a welcomed improvement to the end of the gun, getting rid of that slant brake. Overall, really pleased with this AK, as pleased as I possibly could be. Again, I don't shoot AKs a lot. I'm not an AK snob. I'm not a guy that wants to run them all the time. I just wanted to add one to the pile. Again, I like the 7.62x39 round. I think that is a great cartridge. I like it better than the actual platform. This AK fit and finish was phenomenal on it. Everything, again, locked up appropriately, fell free appropriately. There was no fighting with this gun to make it work. I think Palmetto did a good job. Again, AKs can be real hit or miss. There's some reviews out there that didn't have as good as luck as I did. I'm not gonna run this gun into the ground. Again, I'm just kind of adding it to the pile so I can be knowledgeable on the platform, and it gives me another option, really. That's all. Here's a question for you guys though. This is a tricky one. Price being equal, dollar amount equal, would you take an AK or would you take an M1A? Which one would you choose between the two? Price is equal. Don't worry about price. Which platform do you prefer? Leave me in the comments down below. I'm actually curious. Spoiler alert though. I would take this Galil over both of them. Any day of the week. Take this over both of them. No questions. No questions asked. Take the Galil. That's the Palmetto AK Gen 4. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me know which one you would take between the M1A and the AK. I'm seriously curious about that. Thank you for watching. Go to wisemancompany.com. That's the best way to support us. A lot of great gear over there for you guys to check out, to pick up. It's going to improve your everyday carry life. Got some parts and pieces for guns, slings, hot pockets, all sorts of great stuff. And again, that's the best way to support us. Guys, thank you. My name's Ben. We'll see you on the next video.